All right, guys, welcome to the intro video. And in this video, what I wanted to do is make sure you guys are aware of the giant hidden opportunity that we just unlocked and what we're going to do about it, right? And evidently, it's just this. So, if you ever heard the phrase, the money is in the follow up, the problem is doing follow up is really a pain in the ass and nobody wants to do it. And just because of that, there's always so much money just falling through the cracks. This is common reports that show that over 67% of leads are just lost because they don't receive the proper follow-up. They're not qualified, which means it's reported people lose 42K a year per sales rep annually. That's insane because people just can't do simple things like 5 to 7 touch points per lead. Like, these interactions could just make people way more money, right? But what does that really mean? Well, you can see this. There's like a massive TAM of so many different automations, and we're just going to be taking off big slices of that, right? And to dive in, just the components of why all this happens, one of the components is just this. So, this concept of speed to lead. And the concept of speed to lead is simple. It's just every minute you wait to respond to a lead, your conversion probably drops exponentially, right? The ROI, if you don't respond immediately, is massive. And to illustrate this, check out this quote from Hormozi. He's closing 55% of leads, one of the craziest stats I've ever read in my career. When I asked him how he's accomplishing this crazy stat, he had a simple response. He pays one employee $60,000. The employee's only job is to call any leads within 60 seconds. That's her only job. Isn't that crazy? He gets 2 to 3 leads a day, not even much. And the employee does nothing else but call these people 60 seconds or less. If you've ever needed a stronger reason to have someone dedicated to call your leads faster, let this be your sign. Success loves speed. $60,000 and so much value. But this stuff can be done with AI now. And it's so simple with the tools I'm about to show you. So let me show you a couple more examples. This is another one that's massive, and this is show up rate. And you'll see show up rate. This is just an example of our clients where they have the same ticket price, the same budget, and the same number of leads coming every month. But the only thing we do is when we used AI to increase the number of touch points and follow up with them more, we get way more appointments from the same leads, which means they also show up more because we remind them more over call, text, email, whatnot, which means they make significantly more money. You see? It's over 2 to 3x. So doing this for people is actually not that hard. But the thing is, doing it at scale is. That's why we want AI to do all this stuff. And, we've seen this in studies where it's showed that Mike Schultz, I don't know if you know who this guy is, but he did this big study where it shows that it takes an average of 8 touch points to get an initial meeting or conversion with a new prospect. So we want to make sure we take all these issues and we automate all of this stuff. I also have a bunch of little research here if you want to check it out. I'll leave all these below. And another problem is lead recovery. A lot of people will have CRMs like a treasure trove of untapped revenue. If we just do those 5 to 7 touch points to those people, it's a lot of unlocked revenue. Pardon my dollar signs. And these dead leads basically get to be revived because it wasn't the time or place then. And you can take advantage of that. All right. So this is such a massive opportunity because you get to solve all these problems, which kind of boils down into all the money falling through the cracks, right? And the biggest thing is, I'm saying all of this, but like, why even listen to us? And it's because we've solved these problems several hundred times. And here, I'll take you through this thing. I have a massive wall of testimonials of pictures, videos. These things are taking forever to load, whatever. And then we basically help them fix their lead management issues and all their follow-up systems. Every solution, but the problem was that every solution we were doing was really complex to manage. There were hundreds of end-to-end automations, nodes, they're disconnected tools, and complicated workflows. This made us have to like maintain it a lot, and it was really annoying. And that's why we actually set out to do what we're doing. Actually, let me show you this. I really liked this guy's words. Where is it? Okay. Look at what he says. Take my word for it.
When I leave for the end of the day, I know that my automations are set up. I know that the follow-up is going to happen. And when I wake up the next day, I have an appointment. I didn't have to do all that work or pay someone to be on call 24/7 to do that work. My AI automation and what you guys set up for me does all of that.
Here's exactly what happens when... Okay, so that's just a quick example. Basically, there's too many tools, there's constant breakage, and we want a purpose-built solution where anyone can simply build the solutions to the problems we just talked about, implement it, white label it, and sell it, right? So that's why we actually built Booked.in AI. That's the entire reason. It solves the problems through many little things we've put and a lot of attention to detail that we put in it. Like, for example, we recently introduced this concept of proactive agents, which means it automatically handles follow-up and reminders and reschedules. I'll give you an example. So let's say you call a real estate agent and someone says, call me back in 2 hours. I'm busy right now in a meeting. The proactive agent will understand that and call them back in 2 hours. And this is automatically built in all our agents, so you don't have to do any of that stuff. And you can see all the follow-ups the AI agents will do and might do. You can even stay in the loop because, for example, here, you can turn the AI on and off with over multiple channels, and which makes it so that the human is always in control. And it's done over multiple channels because let's say you can't reach someone over the phone. You can reach them over SMS, Instagram, LinkedIn, email, and it makes it significantly likelier that your follow-up is way more effective, right? And because the AI is doing it itself, you can rest easy, making sure everyone is dealt with. Okay, so this is cool and all, but what is the bigger vision, right? So the bigger vision for us is that, hey, we're building the foundational infrastructure to solve these problems. So to solve lead management across every industry, right? So these are just basic concepts. The problem becomes for us is that every industry has unique nuances and specific challenges. And that's where we need your help. We need your expertise, feedback, while you use the infrastructure we built and apply it to specific companies, which is really easy because you just have to prompt it. But of course, we can't have all that reach alone. That's why this is such a big opportunity. We need your help to apply this in specific companies while we build the infrastructure and make it better and better. That's something truly revolutionary, and we can solve the entire big problems I've been speaking about. And that's nice because your opportunity as an early partner, we get the opportunity to attack this massive total addressable market. These lead management solutions spans millions and billions of dollars of people leaving their money on the table daily. What we're doing is I want you to be the bridge while we're building the technology. I want you to deploy it for clients who desperately need it. And if anything is required, we help you build it. And you give us feedback when you need something new. It's a very easy partnership. And in that case, this is also pretty fun for all of us combined, as we both generate revenue together. Because if we solve a critical problem for your clients, you get to have and make money very easily while they use our infrastructure, and so do we. So that's why we actually designed our whole tool for accessibility and not complexity. So if you've seen tools like N8N when there's multiple nodes and it gets really complex to do a lot of things. That's why we made Bookton intentionally simple. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to know basic prompting, a simple connection setups, and how to customize some little workflows. Because the problems we are dealing with are so narrow, it makes it so that we can be accessible and make a verticalized solution that anyone can use. So now you can just manage the AI agents, handle the follow-up reminders by just checking on it. You just get to quality control, which means you don't have to develop random features or unnecessarily know what works or not, right? This is literally for non-technical people to build solutions. And it's supposed to be intuitive. You don't need to be an engineer. You don't need to understand complex APIs or even write any code. If you understand your client's problems and communicate your goals clearly, you should be able to deploy Bookton effectively, right? And I'll show you this. This is from Andrew. 60 days. That's how long it took.
He's
one of our customers, by the way.
I thought you guys are full of shit.
To this.
This week and next week, we're going to have between 9 to 12 using the system and creating about, I would say, 15 to 20K MRR, a month.
He knew nothing about AI.
I knew how to spell AI. That was about as close as I got to.
He didn't hire devs. He didn't spend months learning to code. He just used one simple strategy that we showed him.
I live by the thing, be a bargain until you can make them pay. Let's pull the trigger, and worst thing that can happen is, the first month, we're like, that was a waste of fucking money, and then we would move on. And luckily, it was the best investment we've made thus far in AI.
And that's why... So, you guys see that? This guy, not technical at all. He just believed. He stuck on, even much earlier than you. So he's been through all the rough stuff. And he still built a really good business using these agents, being non-technical. So just to iterate properly, this is the problem we're solving. It's money falling through the cracks. There's 67% of leads, this is industry-wide, aren't qualified or receive proper follow-up. It's crazy. Annually, this much money is lost per sales rep. And this just never happens. So we built the infrastructure, and now we need you guys to deploy it across industries and help businesses stop hemorrhaging revenue from preventable follow-up failures. So what I want you guys to do is join us in building this future. We built the infrastructure to solve these problems. Right. Now, this is your opportunity to be at the forefront of this AI lead management. And then what you could do with this is build a scalable service with proven technology, which means these are real problems because they're directly tied to dollars, right? It affects your client's bottom line really well. And partner with us so we can expand into new markets and industries, right? So what's next? What's next is we've built an entire module for you. You can follow the step-by-step check. I'm going to be showing you in the next video some step-by-step step checklists. And make sure you watch this and use us as resources. Ask us any questions you have. We're here to help you. Let's work on this together and solve this massive problem. It's going to be fun, guys. Let's do it.